Okay, now this morning I'm going to discuss problem 2, straight problem 2 of chapter 2. Now take note that we have 5 different cases and we have 11 so far, 11 requirements. That's why I chose this problem because it's very complete and it gives us almost different cases in the case of chapter 2. Now, assume the following independent cases for per company acquires Shia Company's outstanding stock on January 1, 2024 and immediately prepares consolidated balance sheet. So we have now case 1. The consideration transferred is 408,000 for 100% interest. Now, for requirement number 1, prepare schedule for determination and allocated excess. Now, in connection with number 1, we are going to prepare schedule for each case. So if there are 5 cases, we have to prepare 5 schedules because we have 5 cases. So in connection with case number 1, the consideration transferred is 408,000 and then we deduct the book value of stockholders equity of SHA. The common stock of SHA is 240,000 as given on page 189. Then you multiply by 100% because it's 100% acquisition. So we get 240,000. And then we also multiply 100% to the APIC of 24,000, retained earnings of 96,000. So in other words, the total book value of stockholders' equity is equal to 360,000. Take note that stockholders' equity is similar to assets minus liabilities of the acquired company. So this time, we still have the net assets equivalent to the stockholders' equity. So the allocated excess of the consideration transferred, or that's we call cost, over the book value is 48,000. However, we have adjustments because of the over or the undervaluation of assets and liabilities. Now, you will find the fair values of Shia companies, assets and liabilities. No problem with cash and accounts receivable. They are just the same. But the inventory, the fair value of the inventory is 90,000 as compared to the book value of 72,000. So there is an increase of 18,000. So we multiply the increase by 100%. Land, original book value of 48,000. Now the fair value is 120,000. So the increase of 72,000 we multiply by 100%. The building, the building and equipment, the book value of 360,000, while the fair value is only 348,000. So there is a decrease in the amount of 12,000, which decrease we are going to multiply by 100%. And with regards to accounts payable, no change. Bonds payable, the book value is 240,000 for peer, but for Shia, it's 120,000 and now it's already 162,000. In other words, there is an increase in bonds payable, but this will be deducted because bonds payable is a liability. So we deduct 42,000. So the net change, we have the positive of 90,000, and then we deduct the negative of 54,000. The difference is 36,000. Actually, that amount of 36,000 is considered to be under valuation of net assets. Like, for example, inventory, undervalued by 18,000. So we have now the positive excess or the goodwill. That's the excess of cost over the fair value. Now the difference of 12,000. Now you will notice that we have the excess original of 48,000, but before the adjustments. So the requirement in number 1 is prepare a schedule for determination and allocated excess. Okay, now still in connection with number 1, only that this time we have case number 2. Okay, and in case number 2, here we are given the consideration transferred is equal to 288,000 plus 12%, 12,000 of the common shares with a fair value of 12. The following costs were incurred: indirect cost 12,000, and cost to issue and register stocks amounted to 8,400. So for the consideration transferred, it's cash of 288,000 and the fair value of the common stock issued. So we have 144,000. The fair value total is 432,000. And then we have to deduct the book value of stockholders' equity of SHA. For the common stock, we still have similar amounts as in case number 1, 240,000, 24,000, and 96,000, or a total of 360,000. So we have the allocated excess, the excess of the cost over the book value of 72,000. Okay? However, we have again to consider the adjustments to the assets and liabilities, just like above. So we have inventory, we add 18,000 because inventory is undervalued. We add land for 72,000. Then we deduct decrease in building 12,000 and increase in bonds payable of 42,000. Still, we have 36,000. So the positive goodwill, which positive goodwill is the excess of cost over fair value, is equal to 36,000. Is equal to 36,000. That's in case number 2. Though in case number 1, we only have 12,000. In case number 2, it's the amount of 36,000. Okay. Now, with regards to the other given data in the problem, like your given 12,000 cost to issue, and the registration cost is equivalent to your stock issue cost, which will be treated as expenses, ang 12,000 and 8,400 will be a deduction from APIC, but that will already be recorded during the combination. Okay? So we now go to case number 3, we go to case number 3. Okay. Now, in case number 3, let me read the consideration transferred is 360,000 and also paid 14,400 in direct cost. And in letter A of number 3, we have to assume partial goodwill on proportionate basis, and letter B, full goodwill on fair value approach. Now, the interest acquired in this case is only 80%, unlike in cases 1 and 2 when the interest acquired were 100%. So here we have only 80%, and the additional information stating that on January 1, 20x4, fair value of non-controlling interest, there is none. So let's begin with case number 3, letter A, involving a partial or proportionate basis approach. So we have now the partial goodwill approach. Fair value of the subsidiary. The consideration transferred is given at 360,000. And then we still consider the common stock of 192,000. That's only 80%. Or you can simply multiply the amount of 360,000 by 80%. That will give you 288,000. But you have to do it individually. So only 80% of the stockholders' equity of SIA, only 80% was acquired by pair. So we now have the book value of the stockholders' equity of SIA equal to total of 288,000 and per paid 360,000. The allocated excess of cost over book value is 72,000. And then we have to deduct the over or the under valuation. Now we still have the same amounts, 18,000, 72,000, 12,000, and 42,000. But we only consider 80% since we have a partial acquisition. So 80% or if the net amount in the case of full, we have 80% here is equal to 28,800. That is 80% of 36,000. The gross over or under valuation. So what we will be doing, we multiply each increase or decrease by 80%. So you now get the net of 28,800. So the positive excess using partial goodwill, excess of cost over book value is the amount of 43,200. Now that is in case number 3 by using the partial goodwill approach. Then we go to the full goodwill approach with the schedule of determination in the allocation, the fair value, full goodwill approach, the fair value of the consideration. If a pair is paying 360,000 for an 80% interest, now if we divide 360,000 by 80%, we get 450,000. That is now the gross. Okay. If the gross is 450,000 for the fair value of the subsidiary, we are going to deduct the book value of the stockholders' equity. Now we are using the gross because above we converted the 80% to gross. So we now have the book value of stockholders' equity, just like in cases 1 and 2, we were using 360,000. Okay? 400%. So the difference is the allocated excess, the under or the overvaluation of the assets and the liabilities. So now we have to reflect the adjustments for here, the over and the under valuation of our items, including our increase in inventory. Still, we are using the gross, the same as in cases 1 and 2. So inventory 18,000, increase in land 72,000, decrease in building and equipment 12,000 we deduct, and increase in bonds payable for 42,000. So we have now the net uh, undervaluation of 36,000. 90,000 minus 36,000, we have the positive excess using full goodwill of 54,000. Okay, so in case number 1, our goodwill is 12,000. Case number 2, 36,000. Okay, and then in case number 3, we have the full goodwill and the proportionate goodwill. So the proportionate goodwill, we have 43,200, and the full goodwill of 54,000. Okay, we go to case number 4. The consideration transferred in case number 4 is equal to 288,000 plus 12,000 common shares with fair value of 12. So that's equal to common stock of 144,000, giving us the total of 432,000. That's for the consideration transferred. And then we are going to deduct the book value of stockholders' equity, since, again, the acquisition is at 100%. Subsidiary has recorded goodwill at date of acquisition. And for the additional info, subsidiary has recorded goodwill of 6,000, and the cash amounted to 54,000 at book and fair value, and total assets of 672,000 at fair value. So in case number 4, the consideration received or transferred is 432,000. And then we have to deduct the book value of the stockholders' equity of SIA, just like in cases 1 and 2, since we use 100% interest acquired. So again, we are recording 360,000. For the allocated excess, excess of cost over book value equal to 72,000. From 72,000, we add the existing goodwill of Shia Company equal to 6,000. It's given in the problem that the existing goodwill of Shia is equal to 6,000. That's Shia Company, not SS. So I multiply the existing goodwill by 6,000, 100%. The allocated adjusted excess is 78,000. Then we are going to deduct the over or the undervaluation of assets and liabilities, still at 100%. So we get we get the amount of 36,000. Okay, so 36,000. That's why we end up with the amount of, in case number 4, we have the positive excess. Okay, so the positive excess, that's equal to 42,000. That is in case number 4. In case number 4, the positive excess is 42,000. Okay. Now, how do we check the correctness of 42,000 for this? 42,000. There. Alternatively, the unrecorded goodwill may also be computed by ignoring the existing goodwill in the books of the subsidiary. So the consideration transferred is 432,000, and then we deduct the book value of the stockholders' equity of SIA, 360,000. So we get 72,000, and we deduct the over or the undervaluation of assets and liabilities. So we get 36,000 and add back the existing goodwill of 6,000. We still get the amount of 42,000. That is the positive excess, goodwill excess of cost over book value. So you now get 42,000. In the last case, number 5, the consideration is 408,000 cash on a cum dividend or dividends on basis. On a cum dividends or dividends on basis. 100% subsidiary has recorded dividends at date of acquisition. That's why it's dividends on. Subsidiary is recorded at book value and fair value accounts payable of 114,000 and dividends payable amounting to 6,000. So for case number 5, we now have the interest acquired is 100%. So the consideration transferred, the 408,000, we deduct the dividends payable of 6,000. So the consideration transferred is 402,000. Since the ownership is 100%, so again we deduct the book value of the stockholders' equity of SIA. So we deduct the book value of the stockholders' equity of SIA. Now we have the amount of allocated excess in case number 5. Okay, in case number 5, the amount of allocated excess after deducting from the consideration received, we are going to deduct the book value of the existing stockholders' equity of SIA. So in again in case number 5, we now get the amount of here. I'm trying to work back and go back to case number 5 of requirement number 1. Here we have the amount in case number 5. We have 402,000, and then we deduct the book value of stockholders' equity of 360,000, and we have the over or the undervaluation of assets and liabilities still equal to 36,000. Again, we have a goodwill of 6,000 as a positive excess. Okay, as stated, Siya has recorded at book value and fair value accounts payable of 114,000, accounts payable of 114,000, and dividends payable amounted to 6,000. That's why you have the total of accounts payable amounting to 120,000. Okay, so we are now through with the requirement number 1 for prepare schedule for determination and allocated excess for the 5 different cases. Next, in requirement number 2, we have to determine the following A to G: consolidated total assets, total liabilities, ordinary share, common stock, share premium, additional paid-in capital, accumulated profit or loss, retained earnings, consolidated stockholders, equity, and we have the non-controlling interest, if any. Now, each case, we have to provide for letter A up to letter G. So, meaning, in case number 1, we have to determine these 7 requirements. So, number 1 requirement is consolidated total assets in the case of number 1. So, we have now the computations of cash for 420,000 minus 408,000, and we add 60,000. So we now get the amount of 72,000. We have in the books of Pear Company. In the books of Pear Company, you will notice that cash is 420,000. But we are deducting 408,000. We are deducting 408,000 and adding 60,000. Okay, so for this, we have the net cash that's equal to 72,000. That's our net cash, equal to 72,000. Why do we deduct the amount of 408,000 that was paid by Pertusia? And we are adding the amount of 60,000. Actually, that's the cash amount found in the books of Siya. So the total cash now is 72,000. Accounts receivable, the sum of that of Pear and Siya is total of 150,000. Inventories of Pear of 120,000 and Siya of 90,000 after the adjustment. So you get 210,000 for the inventories. Then we add land after adjustment. Land of Pear 210, and then that of Siya 48, and we are recording the adjustment of 72,000. For land, 330,000. Building and equipment, 480,000 of Pear, and then Siya 360,000. We deduct 12 as the overvaluation. So the amount will be 828,000. In case number 1, we have computed for goodwill in case number 1 of 12,000. So we are adding, giving the total assets of 1,602,000. The other, so the first requirement is the consolidated total assets. So that will give us 1,602,000 602,000. There, in letter A. In letter B, we have your consolidated total liabilities. Letter C, common stock. Letter D, APIC. Letter E, retained earnings. Letter F, consolidated stockholders' equity. And letter G, if there is any non-controlling interest. However, in case number 1, there is no non-controlling interest because the ownership is at 100%. Okay, so we go back to case number 1 when our consolidated liabilities amounted to 642,000 based on this breakdown. And then we have our third requirement, common stock. Our third requirement is common stock with an amount of 600,000. Letter D, we have a peak, and a peak here is 60,000. Retained earnings of 300,000 and the consolidated stockholders' equity of 960,000. So you can find all letters A to letter F in this requirement or in this breakdown. However, in letter G, there is no non-controlling interest because this is 100% owned subsidiary. Now we go to case number 2. Again, we have the breakdown. So cash and all the other assets in case number 2, giving us the total assets in requirement A of 1,725,600. The total liabilities of 642,000. And then we have our common stock for 720,000. That's our common stock, and that's the total. And APIC is 75,600, retained earnings of 288,800 for a total stockholders equity of 1,083,600. And again, in letter J, there is no NCI or non-controlling interest. Again, the acquisition is at 100%. Now we go to case number 3, letter A, when goodwill is computed on proportionate basis or it's a partial goodwill basis. So in case number 3, we have both letters A and letter B for case number 3, no? So how do we start with case number 3? How much is the total assets? So with case number 3, letter A. All right. Case number 3, letter A, the total assets amounted to, okay, total assets, you are given the total of 1,666,800. That's in case number 3. The total liabilities equal to 642,000. That's the total liabilities. Okay. And then we have the stockholders' equity, common stock of still 600,000, and our peak is 60,000, retained earnings of 285,600. for the total stockholders' equity equal to 1,024,800. Okay? And we have now our non-controlling interest in the case of letter G, requirement. So how much is the non-controlling interest? If the ownership of pair is 80%, the non-controlling interest is 20%. So you now get a common stock of siya, 240,000, and then the APIC of siya, 24,000, and its retained earnings of 80,000. So the retained earnings of siya company for a total of 80,000. So you now get the total of book value of stockholders' equity of siya for 360,000. Okay. Now, if you are adding the total here, so how did we get 360,000? Let's try to review nga nag 360. So we now get 240,000, 24,000, and retained earnings of siya is 96,000. Now, please make correction on the retained earnings of siya. That's for the amount of 96,000 for the retained earnings of siya. Actually, it's given in the book that the retained earnings of siya is 96,000 and the book value of stockholders' equity of siya is 360,000. The total is correct. Then we have to deduct the adjustments in the assets and the liabilities in the amount of 36,000. So that gives us the total of 396,000. You multiply that by the non-controlling interest of 20%. So you get 79,200. That is in case number 3. In case number 3, letter A. Letter G. So case number 3, letter G. 79,200. That's your non-controlling interest. There is a non-controlling interest because the ownership of pair with siya is only up to 80%. Then we go to case number 3, manggihapon, but we have letter B. In case number 3, letter B, we are using the fair value or the full goodwill approach. So we have the following answers. Our current assets or total assets. 1,677,600. Total consolidated liabilities, 642,000. And then common stock, 600,000. Letter D, a peak of 60,000. Okay. A peak of 60,000. We are still in case number 3. And we have, in case number 3, we have letter E. The APIC is 285,600. Total stockholders' equity. And finally, the non-controlling interest. So cash is given at total assets after recording the full goodwill of 54,000 that we have computed in case 3, letter B. The total assets of 1,000,000 677,600. Then we have the liabilities of 642,000. We have our common stock, 600,000. Then 60,000 for paid-in capital in excess of par. 1 million or retained earnings, 285,600. We have the breakdown. And the stockholders' equity for a total of 1,035,600. However, there is a non-controlling interest equal to 90,000. Now, how did we get the non-controlling interest of 90,000? The non-controlling interest using the partial goodwill in case 3A is 79,200, and the non-controlling interest full goodwill is 10,800. So in other words, the non-controlling interest with full goodwill is 90,000. That's our answer in letter G. In case number 3, letter B. Then we go to case number 4. Actually, in case number 4, again, the ownership is 100%. So in case number 4, now what are your assets, liabilities, and we have the common stock and the APIC. So we have our assets total of 1,725,600 after all the adjustments and after recording the total goodwill of 42,000. Okay, since the acquired company had already goodwill of 6,000 and we are adding 36,000. Then for the liabilities, it's still 642,000. The common stock is 720,000. The peak of 75,600, and then the retained earnings of 288,000 for the total stockholders equity of 1,083,600. There is no non-controlling interest because the ownership is still at 100%. Then we go to case number 5. Again, we have cash and all the other assets. Our total assets amounting to 1,596,000. Take note that in case number 5, our goodwill amounted only to 6,000. That's in case number 5. Goodwill amounting to 6,000. So we now get our total assets and our total liabilities of 636,000 for the total of our liabilities. By the way, case number 5 again. Case number 5. Excuse me, I cannot retrieve back the data for case number 5. Okay, I am still in requirement number 2 for case number 5. Requirement number 2 for case number 5. So we have the total assets, we have the total liabilities, and then the common stock, the APIC, and followed by the retained earnings, and finally our total stockholders equity. In case number 5, here we have the total assets of 1,596,000. Our total assets. The total liabilities amounting to, okay, 636,000. Still, common stock, 600,000. PIC is 60,000 and retained earnings of 300,000. So for the total of the stockholders' equity of 960,000 in case number 5. And letter J, there is no non-controlling interest because, again, the ownership is at 100%. Next, we go to case requirements 3, 4, 5, and 6 should apply only to cases 1 and 2. In other words, for case number 1, we are going to answer 4 requirements. The same with case number 2. So for case number 1, requirement in number 3, what is the journal entry to record the investment in the books of the acquirer company? So we have now January 1, 20x4, the investment account is debited for 408,000 and credit to cash. You can find that in requirement 1 when you have the schedule of determination and allocation. So, and second requirement, prepare the working paper eliminating entries for purposes of preparing the consolidated balance sheet. So we now have requirement number 4 for the elimination entries in connection with case number 1. Okay, in connection with case number 1. So we have now requirement number 4, the working paper elimination entries or working paper elimination entries before preparing the consolidated balance sheet. We have to eliminate the stockholders' equity accounts of SIA. So we debit to common stock ang stockholders' equity account balance of siya ang iyang common stock 240,000, iyang apik 24,000 and retained earnings of 96,000. Then we credit to investment in S company in the amount of 360,000. So we have the debit and now the credit to investment in S company. Now, elimination entry number 2, we again debit to inventory because it was undervalued. We debit land because it was undervalued. We debit goodwill as computed in number 1. Then we credit buildings and equipment. Credit because it was overvalued. And we credit to premium on bonds payable. The premium has an increase, no? So you need to credit 42,000. If a credit, it's premium. If a debit, it's discount. So premium on bonds payable, that caused the increase in bonds payable. And we credit to investment in S company for 48,000. How did we get 48,000? The debit to investment upon transfer of consideration, nag-debit si pair investment in siya company 408,000 and credit to cash. Now in entry working paper elimination entry number 1, nag-credit siya investment in S company for 360,000. In other words, we have to close further investment in S company. It's 48,000. That is your net assets adjustments to your assets and liabilities. Such adjustment is equal to the balance of the investment account. Okay? So for 48,000. Number 4 and 3 for elimination entries. Then number 5, prepare the consolidated working paper on January 1, 20x4. So we now have the consolidated working paper upon investments, si Xia and si Pierre. Why 12,000 cash in the books of P or PEL? PEL originally had cash of 420,000. Then it paid 408,000 to Xia upon acquisition. So there is a balance in its cash of 12,000. Of course, we have Xia company with cash of 60,000. So the total cash of 72,000. The accounts receivable of pair 90, that of Xia 60, you get the total. Inventory pair 120, Xia 72, but we are debiting by 18 in our adjusting entry because of inventory that was undervalued. So we now get the total of 210. For land, again, we are adding 72,000. Again and again, you can find this in our various schedules. So total, building and equipment was overvalued. Ang building and equipment ni siya. So we are crediting 12,000, bringing the building and equipment of siya equal only to 348,000. And then we add that of pair, 480,000. So we get the total of 828,000. For goodwill, we now record goodwill in case number 1. We are recording. Take note that your cases involved are only 1 and 2. So we have goodwill in the amount of 12,000. We have to debit goodwill because it's the amount computed in number 1. Then investment in S company that was debited during acquisition. So you now debit 408,000. However, you are eliminating 360,000 in your working paper elimination entry number 1. And entry number 2, you are crediting 48,000. So you now eliminate your investment account. So what have you eliminated? Here, it's your investment account. The fact that it's a reciprocal account. But you have recorded goodwill. Then for liabilities, you have now the total of the liabilities of 240,000. The bonds payable initial of 360,000, but we are adding premium of 42,000. You will notice that bonds payable increased by 42,000. And if an increase, it's a premium. If a decrease, it's a discount. Then we have common stock. Iyan na lang ni pair. Ang kay siya, we now eliminate, no? Because pair acquired siya. So we now have the peak of pair and then the retained earnings. Here, we have the retained earnings. By the way, the paid-in capital of SIA is now eliminated. Ang credit in debit. And we have the retained earnings of SIA eliminated as well. So what remains? Only the retained earnings of PER. Okay? So we have now the totals of P company, S company, and then the elimination entries. Take note that we have entry number 1, debit common stock, debit APIC, debit retained earnings, and we credit to investment here in S company. Then we have for a total of 360,000. And then for the debits, number 2 and 3, debit inventory, 18,000, debit land, 72,000, debit goodwill, 12,000, and credit here for goodwill in the amount of 12,000 and credit investment for 48,000 for entry number 2. And then number 3, we now have premium on bonds payable. We are extending it to the credit side. So we now have the totals of adjustments and eliminations for adjustments and eliminations, and then we extend to the consolidated balance sheet column for the total assets, total liabilities, and the shareholders' equity. So we are just through with the requirement number 5 for case 1. And the requirement number 6, prepare the consolidated balance sheet immediately after the acquisition. Now for case number 1 gihapon, we have to record the assets, cash, accounts receivable, inventories, land, buildings, and equipment. Then we have goodwill, the amount stated in case number 1. Then for liabilities, liabilities now for in the consolidated working paper, you look at the last column, accounts payable, bonds payable, and premium on bonds payable. So we have the total liabilities. Stockholders' equity accounts that remain are only those of PER because we have already eliminated those of SIA. SIA is the acquired company. Now for case number 2, just like in case number 3, no, just like in case number 1, we have to answer 4 requirements. So number 3, prepare the journal entry for the elimination. So debit investment in S company in case number 2, 432,000, paid cash of 288,000, common stock 10 peso par, 120,000, and a peak of 24,000. Now these figures you can find in the schedule of determination. Then number 2, we debit to retained earnings for the acquisition related expense close to retained earnings since only the balance sheet accounts are being examined. In other words, the nominal accounts are already closed. So we debit to retained earnings and credit to cash for 12,000 for the acquisition related cost. And then debit to API, credit to cash for the stock registration cost. Here you have your schedule of determination and allocation of the excess. Okay, you can refer to requirement 1 of case 2, where you have the recording of the investment acquired, and then how much was paid. So you have there your existing goodwill, but now we have the total goodwill equal to 42,000. We have the alternative computation of the present amount of goodwill. So we now go to the working paper elimination entry. Again, we eliminate the common stock of S company. We have to debit, pick debit retained earnings, credit to investment in S company for 360,000. Now, 360,000 as what we have computed above. Okay? So, in elimination entry again, we have to involve adjustments to your assets and liabilities. So, we now have entry for number 5. Entry for number 5, no? Requirement number 5 is the consolidated work paper, just like in case number 1. So we have cash, 111,600 initially. It was for 420,000. However, in case number 2, the amount paid in cash is 288,000. That's the remaining amount of cash of peer. So the difference of 132,000 in the case of pair, but there were payments of the cost involved. So 12,000 and 8,400, the total of 20,400 for the various expenses and the stock issue cost. So the difference of 111,600. So again, the amount of cash of pair that you can find in the beginning balance sheet is 420,000. We deduct 288,000 that was paid to Xia, and so we have only 132,000. We deduct the indirect cost and the stock issuance cost, the total of 20,400. So the difference of 111,600. And then we have now the book value of Xia. Xia here. The cash balance of Xia is 60,000 minus the payment of dividends of 6,000. Okay, so we have the amount of 54,000. That's the remaining cash of Xia to the case number 2. We have the total of the two equal to 165,600. Okay, these are the entries made for the elimination entries. Okay, so we have now elimination entry number 1 for, we are now dealing with case number 2, elimination entry number 1, debit to investment 432,000, credit to cash for 288, credit common stock, and credit APIC for 24,000. And then you are going to debit retained earnings for the acquisition related cost. And at the same time, you are going to credit cash for 12,000 and as well as 8,400. as well as 8,400. Okay, so what will be done next? Cash and then accounts receivable. We still have to add the two amounts, inventory for the adjusted amount of 210,000, land 330,000. After adjustments, your land now is 330,000 after adding the adjustment because of the undervaluation of land of 72,000. And of course, we have the land of Xia, which should be added also. So we now get the total of your land equal to 330,000. And then we have the buildings and equipment for the amount of, after adjustment, it's 828,000 building and equipment. And then we have the goodwill of Xia. Now the goodwill of total of 42,000. That's the goodwill of Xia. And for the goodwill of Xia, you can already find 42,000. Okay? There in our working paper. So the goodwill is 6,000 plus 36,000. The goodwill now is a total of 42,000. That's the debit to goodwill in the consolidated paper. And then we have liabilities and stockholders' equity again. We are recording our elimination entries. So pair, debit to common stock, debit to APIC, debit to retained earnings. That's equal to 360,000 for the credit. So again, we have the elimination and adjustments, columns. We have now the totals for the eliminations. And finally, the consolidated accounts. So as requirement 2, number 5, and finally, your consolidated balance sheet. For the consolidated balance sheet, we have cash for total of cash of 420 minus the amount of 288, leaving the amount of 132, and then we deduct 20,400. So the difference of 112,400, and we add the amount of pila 50, no, 420,000 minus 288 is equal to 132, and then 12,000 minus, or 12,000 deduct 8,400 deduct. So the difference is 111,600. And we add 60,000 for cash. That gives us 171,600 for your cash. Okay. By the way, take note, our cash under S company is 60,000. Under S company column, cash 60,000. So that makes total of the column of total 60 and 60, 120. plus 120 plus 366. So far, the total of 606,000. That's the total. Okay, now we go to continue with the requirements. We are through with requirement number 6. We are through with requirement number 6 of cases 1 and 2. Requirement number 6 of cases 1 and 2. So we are now ready to answer requirement 7 up to 11. 7 up to 11 for only for case 3. Take note that case 3, you have a minority interest equal to 20%. That's in case number 3. You get a minority interest that's equal to 20% because the ownership of pair is only up to 80%. So for case number 3, prepare journal entry to record the investment in the books of the acquirer company. In case number 3, the investment is 360,000 in cash and paid 14,400 for indirect cost. So we have now debit, investment in Sky Company, and credit to cash. Debit to retained earnings for the acquisition-related cost of 14,400 and credit to cash. Then number 8, prepare schedule of determination and allocated excess in requirement 2 above, where we have partial goodwill and proportionate and full goodwills. In other words, we'll be repeating requirement number 2, where you have 2 cases. So the first one is partial goodwill approach, and the other one is full goodwill approach. So the fair value, that's equal to 80%. The consideration transferred, and then we have 80% of the capital accounts of SHA, 288,000. So we have now the allocation of the excess, and so we have the undervaluation or overvaluation of the assets and the liabilities. So by using the partial goodwill approach, we have the amount of 43,200. Partial goodwill excess of cost over the fair value. Now we have these computations of the bonds payable. You have a premium equivalent to 40,000. Inventory was undervalued, land undervalued, building overvalued. Bonds payable, we need to record the premium. So the net amount of the over undervaluation is 36,000 based on our analysis. So the net book value comparing 372,000 for the total of the buildings and equipment and the accumulated depreciation, we now get the net book value. There is an amount of 12,000. For the full goodwill approach, so we still have 450,000 and we get 360. So the difference is 90,000. That's the allocated excess. And we have to deduct the over undervaluation of the assets and liabilities. We have the difference of 50,000. 84,000. So that's our requirement number 8. Number 9, prepare the working paper elimination entries for purposes of preparing the consolidated balance sheet under both the partial and the full goodwill approaches. And number 10, the consolidated work paper, and finally the consolidated balance sheet. Now let's go to number 9, letter A, with the use of the partial goodwill elimination. Entry number 1, we debit the common stock of Sky, debit APIC, credit retained earnings. 4, we now credit investment in Sky, the investment of PER, and credit to non-controlling interest equal to 360,000 times 20%. So it's 360,000, not 300. So you get 72,000. You now eliminate the investment against stockholders' equity. Then, of course, second, we have to record the under and the over valuation in some of these accounts. So we have now to record our inventory elimination entries that we are going to prepare in number 9 will involve two cases. Letter A, we involve partial goodwill, and letter B, we involve full goodwill. So the partial goodwill elimination entry will be different than when you are going to involve full goodwill elimination entry. Okay, so in number 9, we now involve the entries in order to prepare for the consolidated working papers. So here we are recognizing the non-controlling interest of 72,000. And then we also recognize the over and the undervaluation in assets and liabilities. For the non-controlling interest in the amount of 72,000. So we now record, we have inventory adjustment, and then goodwill, a land, goodwill, then building and equipment, premium on bonds payable, non-controlling interest equal to 36,000 times 20%, and credit to investment in S company. Now, for the full goodwill approach, we debit to the stockholders' equity accounts of SIA, and then credit to common stock, APIC, and retained earnings. And we credit non-controlling interest in the amount of 72,000. We likewise debit to inventory, land, and goodwill. Remember, we are now using the full goodwill approach. And credit to non-controlling interest for 18,000. And here we have the investment account to be closed at 72,000. So adding 288,000 in entry number 1 and 72,000 in entry number 2, we have the total credit to the investment account in the amount of 360,000. Now, for number 10, we have the worksheet in order to prepare the consolidated working paper when the ownership is 80%. So we now have the date of acquisition was January 1, 20X4, 80% owned. subsidiary with partial goodwill. So now we are going to add cash, accounts receivable, consolidated na, inventory with adjustment, land with adjustment, then building and equipment with adjustment. We now record goodwill in the consolidated balance sheet. Then investment in S company, debit 360,000, and then we credit the same amount for a total of 360,000. For liabilities and stockholders equity, we still have to involve the same amount for our debits and our credits. So in requirement number 10, we now look at the consolidated column. This will be our basis in preparing the consolidated balance sheet. So in requirement number 1, we are going to prepare the consolidated balance sheet for requirement actually we have A and B. So the balance sheet by using partial goodwill, consolidated, we have cash, accounts receivable, include inventories, then land, building and equipment, and goodwill. Liabilities are only accounts payable and bonds payable plus premium. And for the stockholders' equity, we only have the balances coming from the acquiring. So common stock, paid in capital, and excess of par, and retained earnings. So the total, and we have the non-controlling interest, parent stockholders' equity attributable to the owners of the parent is only 945,600, and then we add the non-controlling interest, that is the 20% ownership share of the minority interest. Now the balance sheet by using the full goodwill. So we have cash, accounts receivable, inventories, land, building, and equipment. Then we have goodwill. Then we also have the liabilities. And for the stockholders' equity, we have common stock, APIC, and retained earnings. Now the non-controlling interest has an interest of 90,000, which is equal to 20% interest. Okay, so that ends our problem number 2. It's quite a long problem, but anyway, it gives you complete information in connection with chapter number 2 or chapter 2. Okay, now next to this, I will give you the answers to the multiple choice problem still of chapter 2. Okay, next to that. Door. Sige lang po, sige lang po. Na-record pa man. Ilang recording for recording. Okay, we go to the multiple choice problems. Actually, we have a lot of problems in chapter 2, but I will only select some. I'll not involve all of this. It will be very heavy on your part. Actually, we got a lot of these multiple choice problems. And you still have the theory portion, but I will only involve problems 1 to 29, problems 1 to 29 for the multiple choice problems. And then, of course, after the multiple choice problems, what follows are the multiple choice theory. So the multiple choice theory that I am going to assign to you. So only the theory at the back of chapter 2. Be responsible for the theory at the back of chapter 2. Okay? While I will only answer the multiple choice problems. Okay? Now, only 1 to 20. But anyway, if you want me to give you all the letter answers, then I will be giving you all the answers for the multiple choice problems. Pero, ang i-answeran ko lang, limit lang to few problems. Okay, we now begin with the multiple choice. Problem number 1. Requirement is calculate the amount of goodwill. Okay, so calculate the amount of goodwill in requirement number 1, and your answer is letter C. That's 33,000. So I'll begin with cash consideration, 300,000, and then add contingent performance obligation, 15,000, the total of 315,000. And then deduct the book value of SS company in the amount of 190,000. That's the book value of SS company, adding 90 and 100. So 190,000. Then you get the allocated excess in the amount of 125,000. We are going to deduct the over under valuation of assets and liabilities, increase in building 40,000 multiplied by 100%. So 40,000. Increase in customer list 22,000 times 100%. So 22,000, and increase in research and development cost 30,000 times 100%. So the over under valuation amounted to 92,000. We deduct 92,000 from 125,000. The difference is goodwill in the amount of 33,000. That's letter C. Okay, requirement number 2. Question 1, what is the total purchase differential? The purchase differential that's being asked for in the problem. The answer is letter D, 330,000. That's taken by adding, no, by deducting 15,000 and 255,000. You deduct from 600,000. So repeat, requirement 2. The answer is D as in dog, 600,000 minus 15,000 and minus 255,000. So we have letter D. Requirement number 3. What is the amount of the worksheet elimination? 2 plant assets on the acquisition date. So the amount is 175,000 debit. So 475,000 minus 370, no, 300,000. So 475 minus 300, the difference is 175,000 debit. Letter C. Number 4 and 5, question number 4, the amount of differential associated with the acquisition. So number 4, the answer is D as in dog. Consideration transferred, 150,000, deduct the book value of the stockholders' equity of S of 40,000 and 52,000. So deduct 92,000. 150,000 minus 92,000, the difference is 58,000. That is the allocated excess of fair value of cost over book value. Now, sometimes we call this differential. The answer to number 4 is the differential amounting to 50, no, number 4 is D, 58,000. Number 5, the consolidated balance sheet should reflect goodwill. So the goodwill here, we have the amount of 150,000 minus negative 173, negative 40, and negative 5. Total is 218,000. So what's the amount of answer in the case of letter number 5? The answer is the consolidated balance sheet will reflect goodwill in the amount of, your goodwill there is equal to 22. Okay, so number 5 is boy. Number 5 is boy. Number 6, 6 to 8. Number 6, what amount will be present in the revaluation capital account when eliminating entries are prepared? So number 6, we have 65,000. Okay, 65,000. Fair value of assets, 395,000. And the book value of 330. So the difference of 65,000. Book value of assets is 330. The fair value is 395. The difference is letter D as in dog in number 6, 65,000. And number 7, what amount of differential will arise in the consolidation process? So in number 7, the answer is letter A, 0, since the revaluation of 65,000 is already recorded in the books of the subsidiary. So not in the worksheet or in the elimination entries. So number 7, the amount of differential is 0 in number 7, since the revaluation of 65,000 is already recorded in the books of the subsidiary and no longer in the worksheet or elimination entries. Number 8, the answer is boy. Boy, depreciation to reduce net income by 5,000. Depreciation to reduce net income by 5,000. So we have 250,000. Actually, we have annually, we have 200,000. So 250,000 minus 200,000, we have 50,000, divide it by 10 years. So we have 5,000 depreciation to reduce net income. Number 8 is B as in boy. Number 9, the journal entry to record the purchase would include. The answer is letter C. Debit to investment by 1.5 million. Number 10, the goodwill associated with its letter A, 100,000. Okay, 100,000. We have an increase in property, plant, and equipment of 100,000. We have 15 times 100,000 shares. So you get 1,500,000. 1,500,000. And then we deduct 1,900,000, deduct 100,000, deduct 600,000. So the total is 2,600,000 to be deducted from 1,500,000. So you have a negative amount of 1,100,000. And we add the increase of 100,000. Okay, however, the requirement of the problem is how much is the goodwill to be recorded? How much is the goodwill to be recorded? So the goodwill to be recorded here is 100,000. The goodwill to be recorded is 100,000. Letter A for number 10. Number 11, the answer is C. C at fair value. Number 12, the answer is still C for 45,000. So you get 300,000 minus 35,000 plus 60,000 plus 125,000 plus 250,000 minus 65,000 and minus 150,000. So number 12 is letter C. 13, you get D. D is 85,000. The consideration transferred is 300,000. And then book value of stockholders' equity is 100,000 plus 115,000. So you get 215,000. The allocated excess is 85,000. That's your differential. Number 13 is dog. 14, the answer is A, investment in subsidiary in the consolidated statements is eliminated in its entirety. So it's already eliminated. Number 15, the answer is boy. So the question is number 15, the journal entry to credit additional paid-in capital is the amount of 2, number 15, 2 million. 2 million is the credit to APIC. So how did we get 2 million? 100,000 times 24, 2,400,000. And then we deduct 400,000. That gives 2 million. So number 15, B as in boy. Then for number 16, the answer is boy, boy. You refer to number 15. 17 is letter A. 18 is still letter A. 19 is B as in boy. And 20 is B as in boy. Okay, now these are the problems that you need to review with in connection with chapter 2. No, in connection with chapter 2. Okay, I'll not involve so many problems, so you can focus on only few problems in chapter 2. Okay, so by tomorrow, I will lecture on module number 3 and possibly take up some problems in connection with module number 3. Okay, so that ends my lecture for this morning. Door, 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 door. Ano gani na? Kundi record. Ano gani na?